Have you ever been told not to make online purchases, log on to your banking app, or send personal information to others while connected to a public network? That's because public networks generally don't require a password, which means anyone can connect to them. Also, the data you send over these types of networks isn't encrypted. This scenario makes it easy for a hacker to grab your data and personal information, like account numbers and passwords during transmission, using what's known as a man-in-the-middle attack. Companies have similar issues to contend with, but on a larger scale. Employees often need to access sensitive corporate information while they're away from the office, but they rarely make these connections over private and protected networks. Mobile users access their company's data over the internet and unsecured networks, such as those you find in hotels and airplanes. One popular way to transmit data safely over public networks is to use a VPN, or virtual private network. A VPN will encrypt the data you send, hide your IP address, and protect your privacy while online. This will help to protect corporate data from being stolen during the transmission. A VPN can also protect a user who wants to connect to their office computer using remote access technologies, such as remote desktop. With a VPN, remote users can connect to their work network without exposing their work computer or any data they send or receive. In addition, the connection to the company's network is strongly encrypted via a tunnel. No one can access what's in the tunnel except the two computers involved in the transmission. Those two entities hold the encryption key, and without it, the data can't be unencrypted. Windows 11 offers a way to create your own VPN. I'll search VPN and show you. Here's VPN settings. Here's the option to add a VPN connection, and you can see it's built right into Windows. So if you're thinking about accessing your office computer remotely, talk to your network administrator about setting up a VPN. However, if you're planning on setting up remote desktop over a secure home network, perhaps to access your upstairs computer from the basement, a VPN likely isn't necessary. Think about what type of VPN scenario would work best for you, and later in this course, you can try to set one up. If you're on a local network and you want to use remote desktop to connect to another computer on that same network, it's fairly straightforward. Once both are configured properly, you simply type the name or IP address of the computer to connect to in the remote desktop app and click Connect. Here's that window. Here's the computer on my local network, and here's the same computer in the remote desktop connection dialog box. However, if you're a home user and you want to access your computer at work, you can't just type in the name of that computer to make the connection. That computer is not on your local network, and getting to it takes a bit more work. Here I'll type My Company PC and click Connect. And here's our error. Remote desktop can't find that PC. That might mean it doesn't belong to the specified network. And that's exactly true. The point is, when a corporation wants you to have access to your computer at work, they will often configure a VPN for you to use to connect. A VPN offers a secure path to your office computer from anywhere. The data you send over the VPN is secured as well, and the data is encrypted. Do you use a VPN at work? If you don't, you might know someone that does. You can create a VPN using Windows. Just type VPN in the search window and click VPN settings in the result. Now, type Add a VPN connection. From here, you'll have to ask your IT department for the information regarding your Office PC and what you need to type to access it. For the sake of practice, though, let's go ahead and type a connection name and pretend we have the information we need. First, let's type the server name. This could be something like vpn.mycompany.com. After that, you'll configure the rest of the options. If you have specific instructions from your IT department, you can input them here. There are other options. For instance, you can type the connection name. I've written My Company, and you can choose a VPN provider. The only option I have is Windows built in. We can configure the VPN type. I'll choose Automatic, and we can choose the type of sign-in information. And I'll leave this as username and password. We could also write those items here and here. Once you have everything configured, click Save. You'll see your new VPN listed in Settings. To connect to the VPN, simply click it here. If I did that, the VPN wouldn't work because it's not really configured properly. But if you know the actual settings for accessing your Office PC, you can make it work. If you have time, ask your company if they'll let you play around with this. Maybe they'll give you some VPN information and you can experiment. Once you have a VPN connection configured, as outlined in a previous movie, there are many ways to connect. The easiest for most end users is to connect from the taskbar. I'll click the network icon here to show you. When you connect here, you just have one option, and that is Connect. For more options, you can connect from Settings. On the taskbar, type VPN to access these options. In the results, click VPN Settings. Here, you can connect, but you can also access advanced options. Click next to the VPN if you're following along. Here's Connect, and here's Remove, and here's Advanced Options. Here, you can clear your sign-in information, and if you've been told by an IT administrator to input VPN proxy settings, you can do that here as well. Let's click the back arrow to continue. There are other options you can apply to all of the VPNs you use. You can allow the VPNs to connect over metered settings, perhaps while using a hotspot, and use the connection while roaming. Some users will not want to use the VPN if they're going to be charged for connecting from their internet provider, so it's a good option to offer when you can. There's one other place to connect that offers even more ways to work with the VPN. Open Control Panel, click Network and Internet, and then the Network and Sharing Center. From there, click Change Adapter Settings. If you right-click the VPN, you'll see lots of options. There's Connect and Disconnect, Create Copy, Delete, Create Shortcut, and more. You can also set the connection as the default. If you set this connection as the default, it'll be the one Windows tries first when it looks for a network. There are other settings to explore here, specifically under Properties. Most of what you see here is beyond the scope of this course, but feel free to explore. Don't make any changes, though, unless you've been instructed to by your IT department. Now think about which one of these options will work best for you in the various situations you find yourself in. You might like the simplest approach from the taskbar, or you might prefer to have more granular control over the process. Whatever the case, when you're finished, close all open windows and dialog boxes. Although it's a fairly straightforward process to create a VPN in Windows when you have the information required from your IT department, on occasion you'll need to tweak the default settings or the original settings you configured. Did anything come to mind while you were watching the previous videos? You might need to or be required to increase security or use a different protocol, for example. To access these advanced settings, you have to get to the Network and Sharing Center. Here's one way. First, open Control Panel. From there, click Network and Internet, and from there, Network and Sharing Center. Now click Change Adapter Settings to have access to these additional options. Let's right-click the VPN and click Properties. Let's look at each of the tabs. Under General, you'll see the option to change the host name or IP address of the destination computer. I personally haven't had a lot of success with this. Under the General tab, you'll see the option to change the host name or IP address. You can also opt to dial another connection first if that's required by your company or the network you're connected to. Like the other settings you'll see here, only your IT department can give you this information. The Options tab lets you tell Windows to remember your credentials. You can see it's enabled here. If you really want to secure the connection, you can disable this, but it will require you to type the credentials every time you connect and every time a connection times out. Speaking of timing out, you can set the idle time here from never to something more secure, like 30 minutes. You shouldn't leave a VPN connection open when it's not in use, so think about how much idle time is right for you. And finally, PPP settings let you make advanced choices like enabling compression and negotiating complicated connections. The Security tab lets you choose a specific type of VPN. The default is automatic, but if your IT department instructs you to use, say, Secure Socket Tunneling Protocol, this is where you choose it. The same is true of data encryption. The first two here are the least secure. Let's look at the two other options: Require Encryption and Maximum Strength Encryption. If you'd like to make changes here, do so, test the VPN connection, and undo the changes if it doesn't work with your remote network. There are settings for authentication as well. Authentication is how you identify yourself on the network you want to connect to. There are additional protocols to allow here if required. From the Networking tab, one of the things you can do is configure your local computer's IP address. If you know about TCP/IP and want to explore that option, click Properties for IPv4. From there, click Properties. While we won't make a change right now, you might have to give your connection a static IP address instead of using DHCP in certain circumstances. That's beyond the scope here, but it's important to know where to find it if you need to. Finally, click Sharing. Here, you can share the connection with others and configure options for those connections. If you're using a VPN to enhance security, you probably shouldn't enable this option. If you've made changes here while watching this video and aren't sure you want to apply them, click Cancel. You can always return here if you have specific needs to connect to your company's network. When you encounter a problem with a remote desktop connection that's configured with a VPN, and you know the host computer is turned on and connected to the internet, your next step is to check your VPN connection. To do this, open Settings, click Network and Internet, and click VPN. First, verify that these two settings are enabled. Allow VPN over metered connections and allow VPN while roaming. You can see here both of these are already on. Try to connect. If prompted to type a username and password, do so. If your sign-in information is incorrect, you'll receive an error. You might also get an error like this one. This says the name of the remote access server did not resolve. Let's keep that in mind. If you still can't connect, click Advanced Options. If you think the name is wrong, click Edit here under Connection Properties and type a new one. If the name looks right though, and the VPN has never worked, place a call to your IT department and get verifications that the other settings you see here are correct. If they aren't, input the new settings. Then click Save and try again. It could also be that you need to set VPN proxy settings, and you can do that from here. Finally, if none of this works, ask your company if they use a third-party VPN, and if so, ask if you need to open a specific application to start the connection. Whatever problems you encounter though, understand that a VPN connection, once configured properly, is a secure and trouble-free way to access remote resources.